received a phone call from my roommate Courtney, hysterically sobbing, saying that our roommate Mackenzie's sister had been hit by a car in Long Beach. 6:30 p.m. on December 3rd, 2009, Macey Kibbe was crossing an intersection while jogging when she was hit by an oncoming car. Just a little bit of background information about Macey. She is so sweet and a great person. She's a grig, not an eel or cricket. She's a lighthearted person. And she's 19 years old, a sophomore at Cal State Long Beach. She's from Bakersfield, California, and she is sisters with Mackenzie, and Mackenzie is my roommate and one of my best friends. Mackenzie and Courtney arrived at the hospital at 2:30 in the morning on December 4th, when Macey was in critical condition. She was in a drug-induced coma on life support, and the doctor said that the first 72 hours were the most critical. Macey's injuries included brain trauma, a broken pelvis in the front and the back, a punctured lung, and abrasions on the face and body. Macey went into emergency cranioplasty surgery as soon as she was admitted into the hospital to remove part of the skull to relieve brain pressure. I will be giving you all a timeline of Macey's recovery through the duration of this speech. And just keep in mind, when Macey was first admitted into the hospital, she had a 40% chance of living, and even if she did live, she would most likely be a vegetable. December 5th was 2 days after the accident, when Macey's temperature was extremely high. It was 100.8. Here she is covered in ice blankets, trying to cool her body temperature down. Her brain pressure was fluctuating quite a lot, and normal brain pressure is anywhere from 7 to 8. Hers got up to a 14, which was obviously very scary for the Kibbe family to have to see her go through this. During all this time, Macey had a tremendous amount of visitors. It was just astonishing how many people love and support her. Her friends from Cal State Long Beach made these shirts with the acronym PINK, meaning Prayers and Need for Kibbe, so it was just really great seeing how much love and support she had. December 7th was a beautiful day for Macey because this was the first time she had opened her eyes since the accident and she awoke from the coma. She actually had to have her arms tied down by the nurses because she was trying to rip the ventilator out of her mouth. The next day, on December 8th, when Macey looked outside of her window, she saw this beautiful rainbow, which was kind of like a glimpse of hope. And when, I'm going to quote Mackenzie here, she said in her blog, "I know God's placed this rainbow outside of Macey's window to show us that Macey was our special pot of gold." And that's so true. December 8th, she was transferred to a new bed to prevent bed sores, and she got a blood transfusion, and she still had to show any movement on her left side. December 9th, the Kibbe family received some amazing news. Macey was extremely responsive and was nodding yes and no. The Kibbe family immediately went into the room and Macey started crying. Mackenzie assured her that she was okay and she had just been in a bad accident. Macey could still not speak because of the feeding tube, so Mackenzie assured her not to be scared and that they would be back in the morning. December 10th was a week after the accident, and doctors said that this week was equivalent to a month's worth of progress. And again, keep in mind that Macey had so many visitors. Macey had people all over the world praying for her, from California to New York to Scotland. It felt like everyone on this planet was thinking about her, and that was the greatest thing to see. She had so much love and support, and every single prayer helped. December 11th, the ventilator was removed, and she was speaking with very raspy and quiet words. She used a whiteboard to communicate her thoughts with her family, although it was very hard for her to write clearly. Doctors were coming in from all over the hospital to observe the amazing amount of progress she had made, given the seriousness of her injuries. When Macey was asked what she wanted for Christmas, which was just 12 days away, she replied, "Nothing. God has already given me so much." Those are true words of an angel. Tuesday, December 15th was the day that Macey had her pelvic surgery. Doctors in R put in permanent screws and rods to mend the pelvis back together. The surgery went very well, and the doctor said it could not have gone more smoothly. The day after her pelvic surgery was the first time she smiled since the accident, which put a smile on every single person that was praying for her. December 17th was another beautiful day for Macey because she was moved out of the ICU and into the 4th floor Center for Neuro Recovery. December 17th was a very special day for me personally because this was the first day that I had seen Macey since the accident. And after being in the room for a couple of minutes, I had to excuse myself because I didn't want to cry in front of Macey. And as I was sitting in the lobby trying to get a hold of my emotions, I realized that these were pure, happy tears. She was alive and as beautiful as ever, as you can see in this picture. And I was so happy to be there to support her. December 20th, Macey put on her own pajamas and out of her disgusting hospital clothes for the first time, and got out of her bed and into a wheelchair. And as she was wheeled out of the sliding glass doors, getting her first feeling of fresh air since the accident, everyone cheered and applauded for this blessed day. A few days later, on Tuesday, December 22nd, Macey was transferred to the Inpatient Rehabilitation Center, working with occupational, physical, and speech therapists 4 hours each day. Christmas Day was spent in a hospital for the Kibbe family, and obviously no family wants to spend Christmas in a hospital. But something that I truly admired about the Kibbe family was their ability to stay positive. Christmas Day, they are smiling with the biggest smiles, happy to be alive, and I think that they would all agree that Macey's miracle is the best Christmas present any of them have ever received. January 5th, Macey went in for her final surgery to put part of the skull back in. And the doctor said there would be a 2% infection rate. The surgery took longer than expected, but it went well nonetheless. Finally, after 36 long days, Macey was released from Long Beach Memorial Hospital, and after a 2-hour drive home, she was welcomed with balloons and signs at her Bakersfield home. Macey started attending the Center for Neural Skills on Wednesday, January 13th, spending 5 hours each day there. Unfortunately, a few days after Macey started therapy, she was readmitted back into the Long Beach Memorial Hospital due to an infection of the skull. And remember, a doctor said this is only a 2% chance of happening. Macey went into surgery and the bone flap was removed. Once the flap was removed, the doctors instructed her to wear a helmet for the next 6 months, and after these long months, the doctors will put in a prosthetic skull. The surgery went very smoothly, and she went back to Bakersfield on January 23rd. She has been receiving antibiotics through an IV at home because these infections typically take about 6 weeks to heal. As of today, Macey is in great spirits and is recovering in her home in Bakersfield, California. After 52 days, she took her first steps since the accident, and she continues to walk with the help of a walker. She is truly a miracle and an inspiration to us all. She is full-blown proof that miracles really can happen. I will be passing out a handout shortly with Mackenzie's blog as well as Macey's email address if you'd like to personally contact her. And I hope that after hearing this inspirational story, you've all been inspired to live each day as if it were your last. And I hope that you all please pray for Macey's future recovery. Remember, every prayer helps. In honor of Macey, I will end with this verse. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways, acknowledge him, and he will make your path straight. Thank you.